My youngest was 7. I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I don't even know if I completely processed it yet. Some days I still wake up and honestly, I can't even believe that I'm still here. This has been 8 years this year, June 12th. And sometimes it would drive me crazy because I feel like I was just spinning my wheels doing nothing. And what I did is I went and searched. I went and searched to really like keep this flame inside me. I just wouldn't let go until I found what I liked. It gave me a purpose. And just having a purpose, I would say that's 50% of the battle. It's a really lonely disease when you get to late stage. You know what? I need to spread the word, to spread hope. You need hope. At the end of the day, it's self-awareness, empathy, and once you grasp this, the meaning of emotional intelligence is.
Hello, Maria. Thank you so much for being here with Chung Huong Institute podcast. Maria, your story really touched my heart in the last 6 months.
I'm Maria. I'm a mother. I'm a wife, and we're just kind of a normal family. We're a blended family. My youngest was 7. I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I don't even know if I completely processed it yet. Some days I still wake up and honestly, I can't even believe that I'm still here. This has been 8 years this year, June 12th. I don't really celebrate my birthday anymore. I celebrate my June 12th. It's a rebirth for me. I think the past 8 years have been, and they've been a blessing. All I could say really is I don't wish this disease on anyone. It's a long journey. It can get really tough. It gets very lonely. But I am grateful to have experienced this. It has opened my eyes so much to life, anything that's alive, tree, anything. It's just amazing that for 47 years, I did not see what I see now.
Say more about what do you see now that you didn't see before?
I really see the leaves in the wind. I really see when I look at, like in the spring, you see the tall grass on the hills. And I really see when the breeze goes through and it changes colors. I really, when I have conversation with my children, I look at their faces and I really try to take as much as I can with me. Their expression, the way they smile, it's just all the little things that I believe as humans we don't pay attention. We're so busy. And not only I pay more attention to the humans, but I see the earth, I see the universe, and I see how much the earth is actually helping us. And at times I feel like it's trying to guide us somewhere, but we could be pretty stubborn species.
It's funny that for most people, I think it just takes that moment, right, to have a diagnosis, to even be present. Why
Yes.
do you think that is? I mean, I kind of feel like the real illness is busyness.
Yes. It's just, I think from the moment that, we are born, it's been passed on from generation to generation. It's, you have to grow up, you have to go to school, and keep going and get a job and do this and do that. And it's everything has been already processed for every single one of us. And so like I had to stop working. And the day I stopped working, I really I really questioned myself. What was my purpose on this earth? Because our purpose is already it's already there even before we are born. Okay, this little human, now we have this little human in our arms. Okay, so you're gonna grow up to be this. Even, 2 years old. What do you want to do when you grow up? So it's just really to stop and just it's like this. I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's it's just it really takes you and I try to explain it to other people and it's interesting that, people will say, "Oh, I totally understand." And then you see them doing things and you're like, "Oh, not quite yet."
Yeah.
Not quite yet. But we all have our path and you know, some of us are here to, I think, see more than others. And so I think we here to help others, maybe to be more aware.
Are there any practices, kind of contemplative practices or views, perspectives that have helped you from the moment of your diagnosis to now? Because I mean, you are so peaceful, and I've known you now, what, a year or so, and I've never seen you drop the peace. I've never seen you waste a single moment.
Mm. Um, so I'm really hard on myself. I have really high expectations. Um, and I have to tell you though, the first year that I was diagnosed, I went through this rebellious stage. Uh, and then at one point, for a week, I decided I wasn't going to shower. I was going to stay in my jammies, my hair crazy, because anyway, what's the point? And and then, I would wake up and see the sun coming through the blinds. And those are the little things that, oh yeah, it's sunny today. But then after that, I would see how the dust through it. And it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I need to go and literally, like, I did not make a bucket list. I made a life list. So, and I decided, I always love yoga. So I really got into yoga so I could actually understand myself more. And I would say the first 4 years, I was looking for my purpose. And sometimes it would drive me crazy because I felt like I was just spinning my wheels doing nothing. And like, what am I here? And I mean, I love being a mother, but I was like, is that it? Was I just here to give birth? And so what I did is I went and searched. I went and searched to really like keep this flame inside me and just I I just wouldn't let go until I found what I liked. And I ended up in the school and I really connected.
Yeah. What's a life list? And what made you decide to go to graduate school? I mean, most people, I think, that I've met who are having some sort of terminal illness, the last thing majority of humans, not all humans, want to do is learn something new. But I think that is a really big key to health.
Yes, it gave me a purpose. And just having a purpose, I would say that's 50% of the battle. Knowing that my classmates are waiting for me, knowing that I have things to do, I have to be, and another thing too is just it's a really lonely disease when you get to late stage. A lot of people, ask me if I'm in remission because I do not look sick. So I took it as, you know what, I need to spread the word because, with the way the medicine is working now, it's people are living longer. And yes, they have the groups, but the groups, they can't listen, the cancer support groups is usually stage 2, 3. But it's like we're living longer with this terminal disease, and I made it my goal to be there as much as I can to spread hope. The hope is it I can't even explain it. It just makes you like you need hope. You need hope.
What do you wish that people really understood about others who may be struggling with terminal illness, or how to even communicate, right? Because I remember, I think last year, and you said you didn't really want to go too much into your story because other people don't know how to respond to that, or they may feel uncomfortable.
Yes. It's very interesting. It's just people do feel uncomfortable. You walk in a classroom and you'll see the ones that it always reminds me kind of the Red Sea parting while you walk in. And, that's why I try not to go too much. I'm trying to make others feel comfortable. And sometimes I think, it's kind of ridiculous, but it's, it's just to be able to reach out or, to reach out or to reach in anyone. It's the best is to make them uncomfortable. But I have to say that the loneliness is hard. Uh, I had COVID, and it's just being in that room. No one could come in with me, and it was just me, myself, and I. And when I went the same when I went through my radiation, it's just you have to take so much within yourself that I think that's why at EWP I found my home because I think it taught me even more how much stronger I am than I thought I was. I really started looking within myself, and I know my weaknesses, but I also know my strength, and I know what I have to do to pull myself out of there.
How do
That's
you
one thing.
how do you maintain this peace, Maria, and this motivation? Really, I mean, in such a world where we're conditioned to be, social creatures, we're conditioned to, for lack of better words, like depend on one another. But to be in a space where at the end of the day, you realize faster than others, at the end of the day, I'm alone. It's just me, myself, my mind.
Yes. You know, since I was little, I was I was the youngest, and I was always on my own. I was very quiet, and I was gonna be a loner, and I think that's what the way my life unfolded. it prepared me for this. I really believe it. So many times, I would cry my mom saying, I can't find friends. But it really prepared me for this.
How do you conquer the fear that comes with it?
So I don't have the fear. I know it's hard. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm too scared a little bit. My my biggest fear was, now that my youngest is 15, my biggest fear at the beginning was for for my child not to have given him as much as I gave my other ones, because my oldest one now is 32. And my biggest fear was not to have them prep for life without me in it. But now I feel like, okay, now they're ready, and I could feel it, like I'm ready for something else now that I've accomplished this. He's still 15, but I've, it's almost like I've got him to a point, like if I have to go tomorrow, I'm okay. He's good.
How can we normal for lack of better words, like the ones who don't know, right? Like I feel many of us are living with some illness we don't know, right? Because a lot of the terminal illnesses, they lay dormant for a long time. So how can we come to appreciate life like you do now? Meaning that we live so well that even if tomorrow we have to go, we have no regrets. We're okay.
Oh, I don't even know how to answer this. It's just, you know, just the I try to, ever since when I left home, I was 18, and I really tried to live my life to the fullest. I'm very ambitious. I'm very much a go-getter. After my diagnosis, what I wanted to do is be all dressed up and jump off a pier. And that kind of summarizes my life. Like, this is the best thing, or be on the top of a mountain, just scream. And and yeah, that's just, I don't know, I don't know. Some stuff I really don't have the answers. Just living with no regrets, especially now. Uh, One of the biggest things for me is, I've lost a lot of friends throughout this disease, and I always try to say goodbye when I know a friendship ends. And when I can't, that's what I struggle with the most. That's
Okay.
my regret.
How come you lost friends since the disease?
At first, when someone is sick, everybody rushes. And then it's like, oh my gosh, okay, life takes over. Um, Starting to look normal. I did lose my hair, but now my hair grew back, and I mean, I'm normal. I do, I go to yoga 5 days a week. I try to eat this and that, and people forget. People people think you're not sick anymore, and but that's but while you survive longer, it's interesting. The longer I survive, the more I take things like, oh my gosh, this is so important, because they tell you 5% 5 years, 2% 7 years. And I'm like, okay, what's the 8 year? And it's, I can't really find it, I'm trying to like, and so, people forget and people go back to their old ways, and people are sometimes not so nice. The boundaries that you had put, I have to remind them of those boundaries. And some of them are just, they don't realize, I think, how much life means to me. And, they just go back to their old ways. And and then you lose friends because you don't want to go back to those. You see the toxicity in some, and you're like, I don't want to be part of this. You me being diagnosed, I just want peace, love. I just want to be kind. And I really want to help others to see how much we are, we are so blessed. Just be able to breathe. I mean, this morning I woke up, the sun was shining. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be alive today. It's a beautiful day. So, and I went to yoga and I was like, oh my gosh, I get to just breathe, take deep. It's incredible. So I'm trying to hang on to that, and I'm trying to teach my kids to be that way as much as I can. And it's incredible to see how the people they're becoming, and you know, and I want them to be better than me and teach others. And you know,
Yeah. It's interesting because I read a statistic before, and I might have updated, it's been some years, where they say after any diagnosis, 80% of the people who quote unquote loved us or love us unconditionally, again, quote unquote, leave.
mm-hmm.
So, what would you say to somebody who maybe has just become a caregiver or is just a friend, a best friend, perhaps, of someone who is struggling with any illness?
So what I did, uh, uh, it's tough. But what I did is, know, at the end of the day, what I did, first, let me tell you this. What I did is the friendship I did struggle with, I had, for me, I had to say goodbye. And since I don't know how long I have, it is very important for me to, once I shut that door is shut. And when a lot of times, I will tell that person, most of the time they don't want to, they don't want to talk on the phone. It's fine. I'll just text them. And then at the end, I will tell them, um, you should look up what is emotional intelligence.
Mm.
It's, self-awareness, empathy. And once you grasp this, the meaning of emotional intelligence is, you know, it, I've saved a couple friendships with that. And, the other ones you can, I mean, I cannot waste my energy that I have for living on, on people that don't want to be part of it. I would say it's almost kind of like a religion. I cannot force it onto them. This is my way of living. This is my way of believing. And it has worked for me for 8 years. And I'm sorry, we can't come to an agreement. And really, I do wish the best. It's just I know some other people really need me to be here in one piece, and that's really hard. It's hard. It's not something overnight because some days I wake up, I'm so mad at these people, but I just go breathe really. But it's a whole process. So
Yeah, what you're insinuating, it sounds like, people oftentimes say, when I say you, I don't mean you, Maria, but when people are like, you're
oh,
so selfish because you're taking care of yourself. But it's funny because it's like those same people are the ones who are making demands. And it's like, who's selfish now?
yes. So it's interesting because that's what I've been living these past 18 months. And so in January 2024, my cancer started moving in my head. So I had to have radiation. And, you know, that's when I saw even more people who were truly my friends or not. And the whole time they said they would be there, and we're all humans, and I started, I, you know, I relied, and like I said, I've always been a loner, so I relied on myself a lot. So I'm working on it, of being able to ask more for help, and I asked for help, and they told me I'm busy right now, or I'm doing this right now, and I could, and I had the radiation in my hip. I couldn't even walk. Like my son was holding my leg because I had no function in my leg, and then I saw people taking advantage of, because I was down. They took advantage of my kindness, and you know, and and I don't know, maybe 6 months after, I could feel the anger in me, and I don't like to get to that place. I really try my best to just always kind of walk away, or just say my piece and then move on, and but this time I had so much anger, and I saw myself getting short, and then that's when I decided I was gonna go home. So I need to go home by myself and go ground myself again. Um, and it was just, I don't know. I mean, it's some things are very disappointing, but I tell myself, we all really have a path. We have our own path, and yeah, all you could do is teach each other. Whoever is willing to listen. Did that answer your question? I feel like I went off.
That more than answered my question, Maria. What has living taught you about dying, though? Or dying taught you about living? I just completely mixed that up.
You know, I don't know. I think living, so I write poems, and I write this poem about how at birth, everybody just is so happy. There's a baby, there's a new life, there's that. But death is to rejoice that you got to live, be on this earth, and live everything you could, and have the chance, the chance that I have to even experience life deeper than this. It's like, you know, I I don't know. It's just I think like I don't know. I really death. I think it's honestly I'm anxious to see what's on the other side.
Can we hear
So
this poem?
from birth to death, modern times, what are we learning? What are we watching? Birthing is rejoice. my hands are feeling the dirt, feeling my ancestors, connecting with the stories, listening to their wisdom. That should be rejoice, returning home after years of traveling this world. My turn to leave my stories, share my wisdom. I didn't finish it, but yeah. And that's the way I see it.
That just eradicates, I think, any fear of death, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. I have a friend last year that had colon cancer, stage 4. We gave him 6 months, but he lived for 2 years. And he didn't know anyone else. And I met him, and he could not believe I was stage 4. And but his started progressing, so he decided to leave this earth on his own term. And I remember my last meeting with him. We were holding the hands, and he said, "Maria, I'm so scared. I'm so scared." And I looked at him and I said, "Are you kidding me? This is the bravest thing you could do." It's just like when you lose your hair, you shave your head because you want to be in control. I said, "This time, you telling this disease, hey, take a walk. I'm going on my own terms. You're not going to take me down like this." And then I was telling him, wherever you go now, you have to find housing. You have to find the rest of your family. Maybe you could look for housing for me. And he just started laughing. He said, "I never thought about it that way." I'm like, I know there's so much to do after this. So, it's just, I don't know. I think life is as important as death and vice versa, you know?
I love the reframe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was the first thing when um, a friend of mine, when I was first diagnosed, she said, "Are you scared?" I'm like, "Scared of what? It's like a new adventure." I'm like, ready, like jumping off that pier with a pretty dress. So, yeah.
Right.
But I have to say, it's 50% mental and 50% physical. But
Maria, if someone is listening to you 20, 30 years from now, they're struggling, either themselves, an illness, or someone they know, or they're just afraid of the prospect, what advice would you give this next generation?
take a bite out of the apple, grab it, and just take that bite. It's so worth it.
Say more.
It's just, don't wait for life to come to you. Just go live. You have the chance to be here. I think as humans, we make things more complicated than what it is. And there's so much to see. There's so many people to meet. There's there's this song that I love, and it's called "I Hope You Dance." And I even have it tattooed on after I was diagnosed, I tattooed it on my arm. And it's just, it'll tell you, like, promise me that you will give faith a fighting chance. If you have to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. And that would be my advice. And that's what I tell my kids all the time. It's like, go, you could do it. Who's stopping you? What's stopping you? I mean, we most times stopping ourselves from doing things.
Yeah, our mind, right?
Yes. Yes. If you really think about it, life is not that complicated. We made it more and more complicated. We invented more and more things to make it complicated. But at the beginning of times, it was not that complicated. So,
Today, I had a conversation with Dr. Olivia Tse for one of these interviews, and she talked a lot about compassion. That's her work at McGill University. And I'm curious, how can we be more compassionate human beings? Have that common humanity, have that love, live life, not have life live us.
it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think compassion comes a lot with self-awareness. Uh, you know, right away I think of emotional intelligence. I think few people really know about emotional intelligence, and then even less know about the meaning of emotional intelligence. And it's just it all starts with awareness and being present. And once you're present and you really know, even just your little surrounding, and you could see and just being present. You could see someone's sadness in their eyes. You could look at a picture and really see. I mean, when it's a picture, a thousand words, it's so true.
It's so
So,
true, especially in this Western society, right? We all smile so big,
yes,
hold inside the depression.
yes. And you see it in their eyes. So yeah, I think just being very present and have awareness. And I think that's where it starts.
Thank you, Maria. Are there
Thank
any last
you.
words that you wish to share with anyone listening that you think are urgent now?
No, just jump off that pier in a pretty dress. So, we just we were given this chance. I know for some people life is a little bit more complicated, but at the end of the day, we have the right to think, even if it's deep down, we can't say it out loud for, you know, different countries, different traditions, but we are free within us to even think those thoughts and just being present.
Thank you, Maria, for taking your time with us
Thank you.
today.
Thank you so much for having me.